Hello, everyone. So, what I want to do is I want to start going over um, the important information you need to know about the class. Obviously, this year is going to be different than any other year of your education. So, we have a lot of things we need to cover and a lot of policies that we need to be clear on. Okay, so, normally I know you guys kind of tune out the first day stuff with teacher rules and grading policy and all that, but you can't do that here. There's too much to know, and if you don't follow along, you're not going to know how things are going to work in here. Okay, well, let's get started. So, let's talk about the difference between what's going to happen at home versus in person. Okay? So when you're in school, everything is going to happen as normal. Okay? You know that class is going to be small. Small classes because only half of you are in person at times. If you're in my 10th and 11th classes are going to be even smaller because the way they do it is half of the 10th graders are going to attend one day. So there might be like 10 or 11 people in the class, and when it's only half of the 11th graders, then there might be like 5 people at a time. So class sizes for obvious reasons are going to be kept quite small. Okay. So we will do a warm-up lesson, and then you'll start working on your assignment. Okay? So I'll typically begin the class with a problem or two that you'll work on, and from there we will, go over some, if not all, of the solution, and then go through a lesson, the same lesson that people at home are going to be working on with a video, except when you're in school, you'll get it the traditional way with, me in front of the classroom doing the usual teacher things. And after I'm done with the lesson, we'll begin the assignment that, again, same assignment that people who are at home are going to be working on. It's just, obviously you're going to be doing it in the usual format. When you're at home, you will, every day, there's going to be a note sheet. Okay. There's also going to be a video. All right, so the note sheet is the same note sheet that people who are in class with me are going to get, and the video is going to cover the exact same material that people who are in school with me are going to cover. And then, so you're going to go through the video with the note sheet, okay? Hopefully, if you have a printer at home, you can print out the note sheet. All right, if you don't have a printer, then, you're going to copy, and the nice thing about a video is you can pause as often as you need to, so taking notes should be manageable. All right. When you're at home, you're going to need to schedule help with me, as we're going to talk about in one of the next slides. Help is generally going to be during period 3, because that's when I have a free period every day. We'll talk about that more when we get to the slide. Okay, let's move on. So, really important, signing in. This only applies if you are distance learning. So if you're at home. If you're in school, you do not sign in, okay? Because if you're in school, it's real easy for me to tell who's here and who's not here. Now, let me make something clear, because I know this is going to be different from the way most of your other teachers are doing things. I am not going to do a daily Google Meet. So my first period class, I'm going to be working with the students that are in class with me, that are in school, and people who are at home are going to be working on their own, watching the video, taking the notes, working on the corresponding assignment, okay? And then you're going to schedule help with me as needed. And again, I'll talk to you more about that when we get to the calendar. But we have to take attendance every period. And since we're not doing a Google Meet every period, or we might not do them at all except for extra help, if you're working from home, you need to fill out this form every day that you're working from home. I know some of you opted to work from home every day. That's fine, but that means that you're going to need to fill out this form every day. So on Google Classroom, and I'm going to pin this to the top of the Classroom page, you're going to see this. Okay? When you click on this form, there's, all that you're going to get is this, okay? It says, note, your name will be collected automatically, so you don't have to type your name, and your response will be timestamped, meaning that's going to tell me the name of the person who's responding and what time they're responding. All you have to do to sign in is fill out one question for me every day that you're working from home. So you're going to tell me what your plan is for that period. So you're going to tell me I'm watching a video and taking notes, and then I'm working on the assignment. Okay? Click check, submit, done, you are signed in. I will get a report, and I will do my attendance that way every day. Okay? So, very important. Let's look at this, this sentence over here. So it says, for example, sixth period is from 1:10 to 2:10. Okay? So if you happen to have me sixth period, you need to sign in at 2:10. You need to sign in the same time that you would normally be in class with me. If you're a few minutes late, that's fine, okay? Very important. If you do not sign in, you will be marked absent. Again, because we're not doing meets, this is the way that I need to take attendance. If you don't sign in, there's nothing I can do. You're marked absent, okay? Don't have that happen. Every time you're starting math, you need to go to Classroom, which I'm assuming you're going to do anyway. Take the 2 seconds, fill out the form. You're literally answering one question, okay? And then you're good. So let's get into the habit of doing that. Again, I'm going to keep that at the very top of Classroom, because it's what you're going to need every day for as long as we're doing this distance learning split. Okay, let's move on. Rules and expectations. So the bulk of this only applies to when you're in school, okay? But most of these should be pretty obvious, pretty self-explanatory, but let me run through them really quickly. 1, get here on time. Okay, when I take attendance, you get 1 free tardy per quarter, okay? The first time you're tardy, I'm not even going to ask you why. The second, third, fourth, etc., I'm going to ask you, do you have a pass? If you don't have a pass, you will receive a detention once we get past that first tardy, okay? So get here on time. Number 2, this is important for both in-person and online. Be honest. It is very, very easy for me to tell when people are using cheat apps or, having someone else do an assignment for them. When I look through Alec's reports, it's very obvious to me who is doing their own work and who isn't, okay? I hate to say it, and I don't want to, accuse anyone, and I want to assume the best, but I have to say it because of this online format. Do your own work. There's really not much else to say about that, okay? If I suspect any cheating, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to refer it to administration and let them do their investigation. I really don't want to deal with that. It did come up a little bit during distance learning in the spring. I hope it doesn't this year, but that's up to you. Okay, number 3, no food, but you are allowed to bring water in a clear bottle. I believe they're giving you water bottles. As you should know, the fountains at school are turned off, so you're going to have to fill your bottle at home. Okay. Number 4, be prepared. Bring your binder. Again, it's in the grading policy. 2 inches or larger. No spirals. Okay? I give a lot of handouts, as anyone who has had me before knows. Okay? We don't do spirals. Spirals are a disaster. Okay? So bring your binder, bring a bunch of pencils, bring your Chromebook. Keep that Chromebook charged. Number 5, be kind. Lack of respect will not be tolerated. I hope that goes without saying. Number 6, raise your hand. Only one person to speak at a time. Okay? Number 7, appropriate language only. Hope that's obvious. 8, stay on task. Don't wander off to a video game or Facebook or whatever. Even though most of the things you want to go to are probably blocked. But please do not wander off to sites you're not allowed to be on. Okay? Also, don't work on other assignments for other classes. You're in my class, you're working on my stuff. Okay, number 9, ending the period. Don't pack before the bell. Don't line up at the door. Number 10, phones to begin the year. I'm not allowing them. We're going to see how things progress. We're going to see how responsible and trustworthy my classes are. It says it's subject to change on a class-by-class basis. And, again, to start the year, we're not going to allow them, but we'll see how that goes. Number 11, lastly, wear your mask at all times. I hope that goes without saying. Again, safety concern. Okay. Assignments and assessments. So, as you know, assignments will always be posted to Google Classroom. On the assignments tab, there's already a few things in each class. Pretty much everything will be on Alex. I know, some of you may like that, some of you may not. But with distance learning, we don't really have much of a choice. The nice thing about Alex is you see your grade immediately, you know what that grade is, and then it goes right into PowerSchool. Academic honesty, we talked about. Again, I look at reports when I have a suspicion, and, it's not something that I tolerate. Makeup work and extensions. I generally don't like giving extensions. If it's a, occasional thing, that's usually fine. If something is going on, especially in these crazy times, yes, I will give extensions, but it's something that I don't necessarily like doing.
First day. I hope that you did as well. We would
Okay.
like to start dismissing at about 2 o'clock.
Getting help.
So shop teachers,
So,
is prepared to start dismissing students. students.
In order
right
to
around
schedule
you.
help
Please don't send
for
them before
days
that.
when you're not in school,
Also, there's no
we're going to
boys
use
or girls cross-country
Google
practice
Calendar.
today,
So you're going to
but
see
there
this
will be
on
practice
the
tomorrow.
classroom page.
Thank you everyone for an awesome first day. We're excited for tomorrow as well. Have a good afternoon.
Sorry, there was an announcement, as you can probably hear. So you're going to go to Google Calendar, and I have availability every day beginning on September 8th from 9:45 to 10:25. So it's going to ask you to pick an appointment slot. The appointment slots are 15 minutes. So they go like 9:45 to 10 o'clock. Actually, this should say 10:30, not 10:25. And then it goes 10 o'clock to 10:15, and then it goes 10:15 to 10:30. So when you go to the calendar, it'll ask you to pick one of those 3 appointment slots. Hopefully there will be room for everyone who wants one. If you need to schedule help with me, and if you have another class at that time, if you have a conflict with another class at that time, send me an email. We will figure out something in terms of getting you extra help, okay? But we do it this way. Come on time, and the code that you're going to use, you'll see in the calendar when you schedule. Okay, those of you who've had me in the past are familiar with this system. Those of you who have not, it's how I keep everyone organized. So I do a checklist usually about once a month, and it's going to tell you what we're going to cover and the assignments that you're responsible for. So for example, assignments 1 and 2, okay? Assignment 1 is notes, right? And due date, NA, means there's nothing to turn in, obviously, because they're notes. Assignment 2 is an Alex assignment, and it's called this, and it's due on September 5th. And this is for the Honors Algebra 2. I've made the video for both of my classes on the cycle. You guys in Algebra 1 have a different checklist, but this is the basics of how it works, okay? Also on the checklist, I put in for due date some TBD. That means to be determined. That means that I haven't set a due date for the assignment yet, but it just maps out what will be coming up. So again, you can expect this to cover about a month of work. And it will also tell you when to expect a test or a quiz, any upcoming assessments. So if you have a printer, it would be very helpful to print out the checklist. You can keep it as a Google Doc if you prefer, and that way you can fill in the dates for the slots that I marked as TBD for assignments where I haven't given a due date yet. Okay, so that about covers it. You have any questions, those of you who are distance learning, obviously feel free to send me an email. Those of you who will be in school, we can discuss more the first day. What you should be working on is your initial knowledge check. No, it's not graded, but you do have to get it done in order to proceed to the assignments. And I think there's like a really short tools tutorial that you have to go through before you do the initial knowledge check. Okay, I look forward to seeing all of you.